Hey, what's up, everyone? So today, Family Circle magazine from August 1980. Now, why are we talking about this? Well, it's because of this here. It's because of Empire Strikes Back, the film and the novelization that had just come out. And in this Family Circle magazine, not traditionally known for its Star Wars content, we received what at the time was a fairly exclusive snippet of the novelization from Donald Glut. And we get here the sort of a rundown of what this is. Hey, for folks who think it's just the one film, there's actually been an exciting sequel. Which, if you haven't heard about it, what rock are you living under? It's not just a film, but it's also a book. And here they give you the main cast and an overview. And then what's really interesting is over the next several pages, actually give you enough snippets of the book to basically help tell the entire story. With some illustrations along the way. In a couple of cases, some pretty funky illustrations, pretty funky looking Yoda right there. But we take you all the way through. It starts off with the Battle of Hoth and the escape and Luke going to Dagobah and some romance here and right on through to Cloud City. Ultimately with the final scene here. What's really funny, by the way, is you can actually see the dialogue here up at the top. No, I am your father, and yet here we go in the illustration, helping to perpetuate sort of one of the greatest misquotes of all time, Luke, I am your father. Interestingly, for a magazine that came out this close to the film, the novelization, it sure gives a lot away. You'd like to think that everyone who was going to read this had already seen and wasn't being spoiled, right? But yeah, this is a magazine. And look, I don't go out of my way to hold on to magazines like this that happen to have Star Wars things inside them. I mean, I when I was younger, I used to do that with bands I was into. Anytime a picture of them would show up in People magazine or something, or any, you snip it out, put it in a binder. If you did it with Star Wars, you'd have warehouses full of magazines, that ultimately don't become very special because these things appear everywhere. But back in the day, again, this represented such a significant slice of all available Star Wars content that to me it's an important nostalgic reminder of a time in which it was special to come across something like this, even in something as non-Star Wars related as Family Circle magazine, to go back to a time when maybe you saw the film, maybe you saw it several times, but maybe you even had read the novelization. But if you weren't fortunate enough to have access to, I don't know, a local bookstore or the funds at the time as a young Star Wars fan to go out and buy the book, here you had it, right? And here you had it at the local grocery store, right? In the magazine section, Family Circle. Maybe this was a magazine your mom had or something, right? And it was like, wow, some cool crossover appeal. An interesting way of just sharing more Star Wars, and because of the novelization, more Star Wars expanded universe for everyone. This is something that it's almost sort of notorious in collector circles because it's one of those things that, if you were there in the early 80s, you sort of remember this. A number of folks held on to it because lots of folks keep Star Wars things. It's still relatively easy to find, and it's a fun nostalgic piece to pick up. But again, does it break any new ground? Not necessarily. Does it provide any new snippets, any new insight into the film that we don't already have from the book or the novelization? Not really, although it is interesting, as I said, to see how it's, in that one illustration, for instance, perpetuating the misquotes, and it's also interesting to see some of those early renditions of Yoda and some of the other characters. But in any event, if you ever wonder why someone's talking about Family Circle from 1980 in the context of the Star Wars EU, now you know.